Vladimir Putin is sending drones over Poland. Benjamin Netanyahu is bombing Doha, Qatar. And you might remember Qatar is the country that gave Kanks the private plane that we, the taxpayers, are going to spend $1 billion to retrofit so that then he can take it when he leaves the White House. So you would think that with all of these geopolitical aggressions happening, the once superpower, the United States of America, you would think that Kanks, aka convicted felon Donald Trump, Lil Marco, and alcoholic Pete Hegseth would be in the Situation Room. No. Much to my surprise, they are grandstanding this trifecta of abject stupidity. Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedledipshit are out in the streets of Washington, D.C. doing performative politics while the United States of America is getting dog-walked by war criminals Benjamin Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin. And here's what Kanks is out talking about while all of these provocations are happening on the global stage. Play the clip.
Birthday letter.
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time know that's not my language. It's nonsense. And frankly, you're wasting your time. All you do is trying to get off the great success of D.C. and about 200 other things we've done that are so successful. This is a great, great success, and we have so many.
Okay, I forgot to mention, it's not just a trifecta of stupidity. Leave that up, Kylie. We have Little Smokey there, failed drag queen. So these four dipshits are out doing this performative stuff, getting heckled and booed on the streets of Washington, D.C., because Trump is so easy to lure into situations like this. This is why Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu are acting with impunity. Do you know what prompted this? A journalist said, you haven't been out to eat in Washington, D.C. once, not in Trump 1.0 and not in Trump 2.0. That's all it took for him to go do this while Benjamin Netanyahu is bombing Qatar. And you know what they were doing in Qatar, pumps? They were talking about a ceasefire. Hamas was there. The government of Qatar was hosting a ceasefire and hostage negotiations to get these hostages out. And Benjamin Netanyahu bombs Qatar because he's not scared of Donald Trump. Because if we already know all of this stuff that's in the birthday book, imagine what Bibi knows. Imagine what Vladimir Putin knows. We have a compromised, demented president hanging out with all of these ass kissers, loser ass kissers, why all of this shit is going on. And Trump says this isn't the way he talks. Let me remind everybody, this is exactly the way he talks. Let me do a quick dramatic reading here. I did try to fuck her. She was married. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything. That, you guys, is the president of the United States who has two shock collars around his neck, one from Benjamin Netanyahu and the other from Vladimir Putin. And the American public, who has daughters, voted for this shit while they go and praise Jesus Christ on Sundays.
It's stunning to me how the U.S. has lost every bit of respect internationally and globally. And I look at these MAGA Republicans and I think this used to be the tear down the wall party, the party of defense and
national security.
National security. But instead now we have a man that's either too demented to know what's going on, too compromised. My guess is a little of both, but there is no question that a president of the United States would never allow this to happen with both Israel and Russia if he wasn't compromised. It's just impossible.
And let's play a video now about Netanyahu and the Doha situation. Kylie, play the clip.
Saw you in advance, Mr. President. Did Israel tell you in advance?
So you were caught by surprise, sir? You were caught by surprise?
I'm never surprised by anything, especially when it comes to the Middle East.
How did you learn about this happening?
I'll be giving a full statement tomorrow, but I will tell you this. I was very unhappy about it, very unhappy about every aspect. And
all right, pause it right there. Look at Little Smokey over there just salivating. He cannot wait to get in that position. And this is breathtaking that Benjamin Netanyahu, with our taxpayer money, the reason you don't have health care, or the health care you have is shitty, and you have all these student debts, and your jobs are getting lost because this guy is so terrible at all things economic. We are funding this stuff. We are funding it. And he had no idea that Benjamin Netanyahu sabotaged a ceasefire deal because he doesn't want a ceasefire, because he wants to ethnically cleanse Gaza with our taxpayer money. And here is the heartbreaking part about it. The Democrats should all be lined up this morning talking about this, that we're funding this, that Benjamin Netanyahu is intentionally sabotaging deals that could get these hostages released. And they can't do it because the same lobbyists that paid to get this regime in place also controls the Democratic leadership. So nobody is coming to save us, you guys. Nobody. And it is unbelievable to me that there is such an easy argument to start making right now about, with all of the atmosphere in the American politics about America first. What about Americans? What about American workers? Nobody is delivering that message. Some people are in the Democratic Party, but the Democratic leadership is ignoring those voices and ignoring those votes that are elevating those voices, and ignoring those crowds that are showing up to AOC, to Bernie, to Plattner, to Mamdani. They are ignoring them. And while all this is going on, Kanks has no idea. He's running around with, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Tweedle dipshit, and the failed drag queen. I mean, literally, that is not even, I'm not even trying to be cute there. That is literally what they are. That's exactly the way Benjamin Netanyahu sees them. That's for sure the way Vladimir Putin sees them. And here's what Putin's up to. Watch this.
News that the Reuters news agency is quoting. They are quoting the Ukrainian Air Force in a Telegram messaging app, suggesting that Ukraine's Air Force is warning that Russian drones have entered the airspace of Poland, threatening the city of Zamosk. Drones in Poland, the message said, heading west towards the city of Zamosk. The suggestion is that this is Iran's Iranian-made drones.
So Kanks embarrassed and humiliated the United States military when he made them roll out red carpet on their hands and knees for a murderous dictator who everybody said, who actually reads, who actually follows facts, said Putin has eyesight and has a vision beyond Kyiv, and he's going to go to Poland. NATO shot down these drones last night. Where's Kanks? Kanks is out talking about, completely blatantly lying about the Epstein thing. So just imagine, viewer, imagine if this is what the FBI has on him, if this is what Ghislaine Maxwell has on him, imagine what Vladimir Putin has on him. Imagine what Benjamin Netanyahu has on him. And we're all going to realize that we all were able to discuss things that were luxurious things to discuss in a superpower. How can we make us better? How can we deal with income inequality? How can we deal with all of these things? They are going to sit back and watch America tear itself apart, because the people who support Trump, they're just parading around about a signature that's clearly Trump's, not being Trump's. Meanwhile, all of this shit is happening in the United States of America. The new Department of War, that worked really well, Hegseth, is nowhere to be found.
The dipshits in power, I think when Ruth Ben-Ghiat said a strong man surrounds himself with incompetent people. This is illustrated here. I cannot imagine in my years on this earth that Israel would bomb another country and not let the United States know, as they're paying for it, that Vladimir Putin would be so bold as to go into put drones into a NATO ally's airspace, because they know what Donald Trump's going to do is fucking nothing. They know that any type of defense strategy or retaliation, Pete Hegseth isn't capable of doing that. He can only run nonprofits into the ground. And here's the thing, Donald Trump has said since he's been in office, well, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but he does nothing.
No, he does nothing. He is an impotent, completely cowardice leader. He is a bullshit artist. He's a blowhard. He's a con artist. And he lied to the American public. And the American public still, a portion of them still go along with this because they Christian signal. They accuse the left of virtue signaling, the right Christian signals, which is just horrific. So many people in America that live away from city centers, the only culture they have is their church. That's where they go play bingo. That's where they have Bible study. That's where the pastors are able to find, secretaries that they can fuck around on their wife with. That's the whole epicenter of their lives. And the Republican Party uses that. And they just very simply do this Christian signaling. They talk about the Lord or things and good versus evil. And these people just lap it up. Meanwhile, their economies, their hospitals, their education systems, their social safety net is being completely crushed by this regime. They don't give a shit. They're evil, diabolical people. And I just want to play you a clip of what happened inside the restaurant. So Kanks gets in the restaurant to go to dinner, and then here's what happens inside.
Happy to see you. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
Okay, I saw this, and I'm just curious, how does a sitting president of the United States get into a restaurant with the Secret Service and they let Code Pink in there too? How does that happen? Are they doing this on purpose to look at how unhinged women are? Where they just happened to be in the restaurant and it was just a fluke deal? And then Trump is like right in front of them, trying to shoo them, like saying, shoo them away, get them out of here. Meanwhile, while all this shit's happening, that's going to be fodder for Fox News. Those women standing up, and it goes into their anti-woman. Women shouldn't have a right to vote. Women are emotional. Women are hysterical. When the emotional, hysterical people are these failed drag queens in office. But that's fodder for all of that. But where are the Democrats right now? United, one voice, centrists, leftists, liberals, progressives, talking about a very compromised man that is running the White House surrounded by ass kissers. Where are they?
They're quiet. They are quiet, and they are not doing the work of their constituents. I think it's been pretty obvious that they're beholden to AIPAC. And so they refuse to come out and say, we do not support genocide, full stop. We do not support mass murder, but they don't.
I saw a video this morning of some relatives of some of the hostages, and they said Benjamin Netanyahu at every turn sabotages a ceasefire deal. It's Benjamin Netanyahu that sabotages the release of these hostages. And the Democrats are too shackled to that regime, to the hard right government of Benjamin Netanyahu, to have moral clarity on this. And when you have the same gigantic lobby that funded MAGA, and MAGA is an incubator for racism and anti-Semitism and all that stuff, and the Democrats are shackled to the same people, it's very foreboding what the midterms look like.
Yes.
Because I think they're going to cheat, and Donald Trump already is forward thinking. In 2027, we'll know what the real economy is. In 2027, we'll know this. In 2027, we'll know that. In 2027, I hope I'm wrong about this, but my prediction is he will have cheated on the midterms, and they will continue this propaganda that somehow they have this massive, depraved majority rule, which is all bogus, completely silencing the voices of the people. And the United States of America, as we knew it, will be gone, and we're going to be under the rule of this dipshit and then his heir apparent, failed drag queen, sociopath extraordinaire, Little Smokey. All right. Another uplifting episode of IHIP News. Please support our show by getting our book, The Coolest Book of the Fall. The link is below in the show notes.